This just in, the White House declaring moments ago that the ISIS Caliphate in Syria has been 100% defeated. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders making that declaration to reporters on Air Force One. We have Ben Wedeman. He's in Eastern Syria. And Ben, you've been in Syria for 49 days as ISIS fighters hold out. The White House now says ISIS is 100% defeated. Is that what you're seeing?
No, we're not. I mean, for the last 2.5 hours, we've seen airstrikes, repeated airstrikes, and these, of course, are American airplanes. Right now, you can see a flare behind me. I can see tracer fire going toward the horizon. There's another flare behind me. And there has been gunfire coming out of the ISIS positions, which are admittedly a very small piece of territory on the edge of a hill outside on the eastern end of this town of Bahrouz. So the fighting is not over. ISIS, yes, if you were to look at the amount of territory, it is very small indeed, but the fighting goes on. And what we heard from a spokesman for the Syrian Democratic Forces today is that they believe there's still several hundred holdouts, including women, including children who are being used as human shields. And they believe that these last holdouts are not going to surrender peacefully, that they are going to fight to the death. And it appears that this may be the beginning of the final battle. I mean, I've been here for 49 days, and we've heard time and time again predictions that it's about to end. I've lost count of how many times we've had to explain that President Trump may be saying that the Caliphate is completely defeated, but what we are seeing with our eyes and hearing and hopefully being able to show on television is it isn't defeated yet. It is on the brink of defeat, but there is still fighting going. There are still forces with the Syrian Democratic Forces, as well as American, French, and British servicemen involved in this military effort that is not over yet. Brianna?
And why has it been so difficult? What are the challenges facing the forces that are taking on ISIS? Why have they not been able to fully clear ISIS out of, admittedly, a small area, but this is important that this is still going on?
Basically, the problem is that the Syrian Democratic Forces, and we assume along with them the Americans, the British, and the French, wildly underestimated the number of civilians who were inside. When I came here 49 days ago, we were being told there were a mere 1,500 civilians and 500 jihadis left in a much larger area, but it turned out that there were more than 30,000 civilians, many of them wives and children of ISIS jihadis, as well as thousands of jihadis still inside. And slowly there have been military operations that halted to allow those who wanted to leave. That includes civilians, that includes jihadis, thousands of whom have surrendered. But there are still those who are holding out probably because of their desire to die, in their opinion, as martyrs. So it's a complicated operation. An effort is being made to avoid a civilian death toll that could run in the thousands if there were to be just an all-out assault to finally regain this territory. Now, it's perfectly understandable that President Trump wants to come out and announce the final defeat of ISIS. I certainly would like him to do it with veracity so I could go home after 49 days in this country. But until the guns go silent on this battlefield behind me, I'm afraid ISIS cannot be declared totally defeated. Brianna?
It cannot be, and we hear the fighting going on behind you. Ben Wedeman, thank you so much for that report in Eastern Syria.